This is Townsquare Sunday. We just had a half marathon in New Bedford 3 weeks ago, and you look at those folks running 13.1 miles and say, how can they do it? How do they do it? My next two guests are getting ready to tackle a number 38 times that distance. They are ultramarathoners, and they're gearing up for a 500-mile run. They are Brian Chersland and Josh Milich. Welcome to you both, gentlemen.
Well,
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
How do you become ultramarathoners? I don't imagine that that's on like a career choice when you get out of high school. How do you do that?
Well, we certainly don't get paid for it.
No.
Right. Okay.
We're not elite runners. I started running. I was overweight, and I was looking for a way to get into shape. And started out with the shorter races. Ended up signing up for a couple of marathons, and I ended up doing 2 marathons back-to-back weekends. And I said, well, how far can I really run? So I signed up to do a 50-miler and finished that and qualified me to put in for an entry for a 100-miler. So I went and did that, and I've been doing them ever since.
Where are you guys from, first of all?
I'm from Dartmouth.
All right.
And I grew up in Rhode Island.
All right. So Josh, tell us how it happened for you. Similar story?
Similar story. I was a big gym guy growing up, and, by the time I think I was 26, and I was like, I'm just so over the typical gym workout over and over and over again. And I was always a terrible, terrible runner. So I was like, you know what? I wonder if I can do a half marathon, thinking that was the end goal, was to run that 13.1 miles. So I had trails near my house. I was living in California at the time. Went out, almost died on that half marathon. And then, the progression starts. Oh, I wonder if I can do a marathon. Then you run a marathon or two. Oh, I wonder if I can do a 50K. And it just escalates and escalates. And now it's been maybe almost 3 years I've been running. And, I don't know, there's probably 10 or 12 or more than that ultras. So. And Brian Chersland, how many ultramarathons have you run?
I've done between 40 and 50 ultramarathons. I've done 12 100-mile plus marathons.
All right. Those are amazing numbers. What is the race you are currently training for?
I am currently training for a race called Massanutten 100. It's in Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. It's 100-miler, 35-hour cutoff time. About 18,000 feet of elevation in the race.
Mm-hmm. But there is a race you are training for an organization called Mission 22.
Yes,
that is very important, and that's a 500-miler.
It's I wouldn't call it a race. It's just a run. It's Josh and I. We're doing it to raise funds and awareness mostly for Mission 22. So we're going to start in Bourne at the National Cemetery in Massachusetts, and we're going to run to Arlington, Virginia, to the National Cemetery. We're going to be leaving November 11th on Veterans Day, and we're thinking about 12 days. We'll have it wrapped up.
And Josh, what is Mission 22?
So Mission 22 is a nonprofit organization whose goal is to end the war on veteran suicide. So 22 veterans a day take their own lives, averages roughly, a little over 6,000 a year. So what Mission 22 has been doing is helping veterans with PTSD and TBI, putting them into programs to help, solve a lot of these issues that are, causing such a high suicide rate. And then furthermore, they're helping families who've lost loved ones to veteran suicide, and then creating memorials to just increase general awareness in the public and spread the word that this is a pretty devastating problem that faces our country, and these people, support us so selflessly, and we need to give back to those people.
Either one of you veterans?
I am not.
I'm currently active duty Coast Guard. Okay. I've served for a little over 8 years and going strong.
Have you lost friends to suicide?
Have.
You have?
Yes.
Veterans?
Veterans, non-veterans, yeah.
All right. And so this is going to start in November. Is training for a distance like that different than let's say a marathon? No, you just run.
Just run. If you want to get better at running, you run. So, but there are things you can do to help. So we are ultra marathoners. So we run more than someone who's training for a regular marathon or a half marathon. There are certainly different theories of what you should do to be able to complete these types of races. I run between 80 and 100 miles a week. We do what's called stacked running. So we'll do longer runs back to back. So I may do 10 miles on Friday, 20 miles on Saturday, 25 miles on Sunday. And what that does is it builds up endurance.
What is it about you personally, or your personality, perhaps, that says 13 miles or 26 miles or 50 miles is not enough? I'm going for 500. What is it?
Well, the initial goal of the 500-mile run was to just do something bigger than the standard 50-miler, 100-miler, and the goal of, I want a belt buckle. That's what you get when you finish a 100-miler. That's like the prize as opposed to like a normal medal. Yep. Or just getting a T-shirt or whatever.
Okay. It's a nice belt buckle.
They are nice belt buckles. But me and Brian work so hard for this level of fitness, running 80 to 100 miles a week. And I just figured, why don't we use that endurance and use it to make a difference as opposed to just doing any other old race. Running races is awesome and it's amazing and it's a great personal accomplishment. But we wanted to do something that's giving back and not for us, but using that for someone else.
Yeah. Now, while I may have a little fun with all of this, the fact is there is a very serious purpose to this, as we mentioned.
Yes.
Hoping to end veteran suicide and to are people pledging money? How is the fundraising working?
They are. We have a campaign page set up through Mission 22. You can go to that.
So there's the two easiest ways, probably through social media. So you can either Instagram or Facebook. Facebook, you can find us at 500 Miles to End Veteran Suicide. And then Instagram is 500 Miles to End Vet Suicide. Both of those sites will have a direct link to our campaign page. And, you can donate there or reach out to either me or Brian if you want to donate in a different way, if you want to, time or, products if you're a business owner, or if you just want to come run with us, during that journey, you're more than welcome.
So, and the money will be used how? For housing situations or counseling, or how will it be used?
Mission 22 uses it for yes, counseling is part of it. They're more of they want to get the program based. They want to get the veterans outside and socializing and doing something like horseback riding or different types of things, different activities.
Martial arts, mountaineering. They do. It's canine programs. They have so many different things they do to help veterans. It's not just your stereotypical counseling one-on-one session, but much bigger picture than that.
All right. You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. My guests are Brian Chersland and Josh Milich, and both are ultra marathoners. Josh is from Rhode Island, and Brian is from Dartmouth, and they are planning on this 500-mile run, starting in November, and they're raising money for Mission 22, which is an organization committed to ending veteran suicide. I had some questions that I jotted down here that struck me about all of this. What did your parents and friends say when you said, I'm going to be an ultramarathoner?
Was it really an announcement? It just kind of happened. You're just sitting in front of the computer and you register for a race and off you go and you hope you finish. Sure. My first 50 miler was local. It was in Massachusetts. I had plenty of support from friends and family. And very encouraging, and it just kept going on from there, and it continued through my first 100-miler. That I was in California, and they all went with me, and it was very supportive.
Josh, same thing.
Very similar. The family was super supportive. I think because it was such a quick jump into ultra marathoning, there was a lot of like, you're crazy. Like, you really want to go, the first ultra marathon's like 32 miles. So, like, you just ran a marathon. You really want to go try and run farther than that. But, once it kind of became normal, now it's just, just another, every other race. That's it.
I can tell you when I first booked these guests, both these gentlemen, I said, hey, I'm going to see a couple of thin guys coming in here, and you guys are not thin. You guys are fit, but you're not pencil thin. So do you have to carb up doing these races? What do you do? How does that work?
My regular diet, I carb up pretty much every day, which is why I run every day. So no special diet. I'm an average runner, a middle of the pack finisher. I call myself an average runner doing hundreds, but I'm right in the middle. Nothing special, and I'm able to complete these based on how many miles I run every week. It's just a fitness level. But it's also just mentally is what the biggest challenge is, and you really just have to want to do it.
Yeah. Josh?
Yeah, we eat a lot of food, a lot. I mean, throughout the whole day, it's But that's the great thing about running, 15, 20 miles every single day, is you can eat pretty much whatever you want, whenever you want, and you kind of just. I never lose weight, but I don't gain weight, so it's nice.
All right. What's the most scenic venue you've ever run in one of these longer races, one of these or runs?
So Western States was in California, started in Tahoe, and ended in Auburn. That was beautiful going through the mountains. I've been to Bryce Canyon, ran through Bryce Canyon. Last September I ran in Pine to Palm 100 in Oregon through the Siskiyou Mountains, and that was beautiful. There's just many locations. That's part of the reason why I do it, is to go see these places and be able to spend all that time out in the country and really be in the wilderness and in the environment.
Josh?
Man, a lot too. Big Sur, I did a race in Big Sur that was pretty incredible. The Marin Headlands in California, pretty incredible. Moab, the Moab Red Hot it's almost like you're running on a different planet. It's so cool to like be up on the those plateaus and just seeing like all the arches and everything, and then even locally, races in New Hampshire and Pennsylvania. There's just beautiful trails everywhere. Anywhere that you are in the country, you can get out there and it's gorgeous.
You run a lot in the winter?
Every day outside.
Every day.
Yes.
Every day outside. All right. So on this event in November, the run to stop veteran suicide, will we be able to track you?
Yes.
Some way?
Yes.
Explain that.
So I have a GPS tracker. It will be on our social media, so you'll be able to follow along and figure out where we're going. So you'll know where we are and what we've covered during the day. And if you'd like to come out and join us based on that tracking, you're more than welcome to come out and run with us.
Right. That's Instagram, also Facebook?
Yep, Instagram and Facebook, and then we'll have a link to the actual tracking page. And then we'll also, during the run and leading up to the run, we'll be posting a lot of content, especially during running days. Mm-hmm. So you'll get to see the fun and the struggles and everything that comes along with running 50 miles a day.
All right. What do you guys do when you're not running 500 miles?
I'm a real estate appraiser.
Okay. Any hobbies? Any other hobbies? Probably running is your...
I dabble in astronomy as well.
Okay.
And
Josh?
then anything where I can stand sideways, so snowboarding, surfing, skateboarding, that's kind of where my real enjoyment comes from.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, this is an incredible story you're telling, and of course there's a serious side to this, and that is veteran suicide, your goal, and the goal of the organization to end veteran suicide. Again, where can people go to contribute, and where can people go to drive home that message?
So our fundraising page can be found through both Instagram and Facebook. Facebook is at 500 Miles to End Veteran Suicide, and Instagram is at 500 Miles to End Vet Suicide. Both of those sites have direct links to our fundraising page. And then that fundraising page will also have a link to Mission 22's homepage if you want to learn more about the organization.
All right. And Mission 22 is the organization you are running or affiliated with to raise funds. They do wonderful work with veterans, getting them involved in activities to hopefully get their head straight.
Yes. Keep
them alive. That's very, very important. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good luck to both of you. I'm kind of exhausted just talking with you, but it's an amazing story. Ultramarathoners, and they are, I don't get the names here right because they're tricky, Brian Chersland of Dartmouth and Josh Milich of Rhode Island. And on Veterans Day in November, you'll be setting out from Bourne, is that correct?
Correct.
National Cemetery in Bourne?
Yes.
Very good. All right. Again, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in. That's it for Townsquare Sunday this week. Thanks for listening. Thanks also to digital editor Casey Sylvia and production director Jason Kent for their assistance in getting this program on the air and on the web. I'm Jim Phillips. Have a great week and a wonderful Sunday.